Being an entrepreneur is a chaotic and unpredictable experience. There you are, working on your small business with all the ups and downs that come with it, having no idea how much money you will make next month. Perhaps you will kill it, or perhaps it will be zero. Running a business is an inherently uncertain path, but this is how it is supposed to be. If it wasn't, then the reward wouldn't have been there for those who succeed. Today, I want to talk about a very overlooked and yet crucial necessity for all business owners. Something that can drastically improve both your quality of life and your quality as a business leader. My name is Ognan Stanov, and currently this is my 10th year as an entrepreneur, so I'm intimately aware of the financial and emotional roller coaster that having a business is. You see, small business owners sit right at the top of the risk spectrum. They don't have the backup of a big corporation or government above them that pays them a fixed salary every month. However, they still don't have all the different systems, teams, departments, and procedures below them. And so, people like us are in this weird, uncertain limbo where there is nothing above you and there is almost nothing below you to support you. One mistake, one customer complaint, one industry policy shift, and boom, you can be out of money next month. However, where there is a risk, there is a reward. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time here, since you already know that you are in an inherently risky situation, and you obviously know that you are doing it for a better life, and you don't need me to tell you that. The point of the video is different. In fact, let me take a step back. When I became an entrepreneur almost 10 years ago, the main reason I did it was because I wanted to have financial freedom and independence. I did not want to rely on a government or a corporate job to put food on the table, and I did not want anyone telling me where I should be on a Wednesday afternoon. Once I made that desire conscious and I decided I would dedicate my life to pursue it, only then I started thinking about my choices. Long story short, it was obvious to me that the best way to get there was to start my own business. Now, why am I telling you this? Because it is a crucial thing to understand. The desire to start my business was a result of the desire to live my life a certain way and the desire to have more independence. So the reason why came first, and then the vehicle or the business came second. I see too many people getting caught up in their daily routines as entrepreneurs, wasting decades of their lives, going down a path they never wanted to go, totally forgetting why they started in the first place. You must never forget that unless you are a genius who wants to cure cancer or improve the agriculture in Africa or something like that, the main reason you started the business was to live a better life. So, because I always had this in mind, simultaneously with starting on my entrepreneurship path, I started on my investment path. Now, obviously, at first I did not have any money to invest, but I spent a lot of time reading and educating myself about investing because I quickly realized something that most of the business owners don't understand their whole life. And this is that my business was only a vehicle. It wasn't an end goal. I knew that having a business was never going to give me the life I dreamed of. I knew that if I wanted freedom and independence, I was not going to achieve it by creating another job for myself. The only way to achieve the state I was aiming at was by divorcing my income from my personal work I did, be it 9 to 5 or as an entrepreneur. And that could only happen through investing. This is why as soon as I got obsessed with entrepreneurship, I also became obsessed with investing. Those two things cannot be divorced from each other, since entrepreneurship is just the first step, the stepping stone for investing. Now, mind you, I said that the only way to achieve that lifestyle is to divorce your income from the work you do. Here, a lot of small or mid-sized business owners think that just because they have employees or managers and they're not active in the enterprise, they've achieved that. Sorry to ruin the day for you, but you haven't. Because your income is still connected to this one place, this one company that is vulnerable to 1,000 different threats, some of which are totally unforeseeable. As an example, when the war in Ukraine started, a lot of companies in Eastern Europe had their supplies wrecked, and some were even forced out of business. The price for materials they were using went up like 200%, and suddenly they could no longer make their business work. And that was the end of it. However, if we take as an example big diversified multinational companies like one of the biggest tobacco companies, Philip Morris, or food and beverage giant PepsiCo, sure, they had some shocks too. Their revenue was hit a little bit, but nothing special. They not only survived, but even increased their dividends to their shareholders in that period. So hiring a few employees and a manager to manage these employees does not mean you have achieved the dream of a free and independent lifestyle, because literally only one thing needs to go wrong and that life will be shattered. So now that we have established that your business is only the stepping stone towards your goal, not the end goal and not the end state itself, the question is, what should a business owner do? Well, as you clearly understand, I don't know you personally and I can't tell you what to do. So here is what I have done and the strategy I followed. Whether you decide to listen to me or not is entirely your decision. When I'm at the beginning stages of the business, my top priorities are two: the survival of the business and my own survival. So to achieve that, I first need to make sure my funds for operating the day-to-day activities in the business are enough. I don't take money out of it until they are. Until then, I either live from savings or from a 9-to-5 job. Once that business starts spitting off some cash that is in excess of its survival needs, then I have to establish two types of emergency funds: a business one and a personal one. The purpose of the emergency fund is, shockingly, to be used in emergency. The goal of the business one is to make sure that if some months my business is in the negative, I can keep my employees, keep paying rent, or if it is a digital business, the software I use, etc. You don't want to be in a situation where one bad month means you need to fire your best people and cancel your rent or the hosting of your website. This is tied to the purpose of emergency funds. If what I described above happens, not only the business needs funds to survive, but obviously you do too. So during the time when your business is not spitting off cash, if you are no longer working somewhere else, you use that emergency fund to put food on the table and pay the bills. Now, what should be the size of the funds? I personally am a bit more conservative and I aim for 12 months, but this is entirely up to you, your situation and personality. Generally, since business owners, as discussed, have an inherently more uncertain situation, I would say you rarely want to go below 6 months worth of both business and personal emergency funds. Now, after we have established that, comes the important part. You have emergency funds, your business is working, it is cash flow positive, it is making more money than it needs to survive. At this point, as an entrepreneur, you are at a crossroad. You can either start regularly taking money out of the business or reinvest in order to grow it. If you choose to reinvest, then that's fine, because your biggest return on investment will always come from your business. But you need to be careful here. I have seen far too many entrepreneurs reinvest everything every year for over a decade, and then suddenly the business goes bust and they have nothing to show for it. You don't want that. Decide what percentage of the profits of the business you will reinvest, and then, just as an insurance policy, start taking the rest out and invest it into long-term, stable, cash flowing assets. I will talk about what they are later. If business owners choose not to reinvest in the business in order to grow it, they often make a crucial mistake. They think now that they have money coming in for which they don't need to directly work, they are set and can do whatever they want. And so they start upgrading their lifestyle rapidly, buying nice cars, going on nice vacations, renting homes they have no business living in, etc., etc. Because suddenly they think they've solved life. Well, they're wrong. Dead wrong. You see, businesses come and go. Today it makes you money, tomorrow you file for bankruptcy. I've seen this too many times to count. The worst thing you can do is upgrade your lifestyle to match your business income, and then boom, once the business no longer works, you will take such a psychological hit that you may not be able to recover from it. Human beings inherently feel the pain of losing way more than the joy of gaining. Even if the loss and the gain are the same magnitude. Let's say you win $5, then you lose $5. Your net result isn't zero because your brain attaches more importance to the loss than it does to the win. This is why I have always been super careful with upgrading my lifestyle, and have only done it once I'm pretty sure I can sustain it. My formula is that what I'm allowed to spend per month should equal my passive investment income per month. Now, obviously, if I make $70 from my investment, I can live on $70 per month, but then I will only spend money on basic needs, not more than that. And slowly, as I increase the income from my investments, this is what allows me to upgrade my lifestyle. I mean, I was making 6 figures indoors as a 24-year-old man living in the poorest country in the European Union and didn't even have a car. Yep, I used public transport because I did not allow myself to buy a car. Obviously, I did not have a family, children, so a car wasn't a necessity for me, but you get what I'm saying. Now, mind you, We're not talking about six figures living in San Francisco or New York. I'm talking something like 10, 15 times the average salary or more. And I didn't even own a car. So this shows you how serious I am about what I'm teaching you now. The mindset is, it doesn't matter how much money I make in my business. My lifestyle is constrained by my investment income. If I make 200K a month from the business and I make 5K a month from my investments, I live on 5K. That's it. No negotiations. So the thing is, entrepreneurs often make the mistake of thinking that the free cash flow they make that is no longer needed in their company should either go into lifestyle improvements, starting another small business, or their savings account. But there is a whole other level beyond these things. If you never reach it, then you never reach the end goal you set out towards in the first place. I will talk shortly in bigger details about the specific investments, but before that, if you're getting value out of this video, hit the like button and also subscribe with the notification bell. That way, you let me know you want more videos like that, and will also be notified about my future ones without relying on the algorithm to show them to you. Thank you very much. Now, if you follow what I have said so far and start doing it, you will find out that at one point, once you start getting more security from your investment income, this will improve both your personal life and your qualities as an entrepreneur. There are two sides to this. First, the business side. As you probably know, the longer term you can think as a business person, the better decisions you can make. If you are only focused on making money today, then that changes your perspective and you tend to make worse choices. But obviously, if you are constantly pressured to pay the bills or the rent, then you have no choice. And because you have no choice, this spirals into a doom loop where you keep making short-term wins, sacrificing long-term growth, etc. The best way to break out of that cycle is to create a situation for yourself where you know your bills and food and rent are paid for regardless of the results in your business. This has certainly been the case for me. Once I reached the point where my investment income paid for all the necessities of life, only then could I start thinking more about the longer term prospects of my business. So, ironically, by taking a little bit of money from your company and investing it for long-term passive income, you actually become a better entrepreneur because it allows you to have breathing room and think longer term. Second, the personal side. Obviously, if you know that even if your business doesn't make a profit in the next 3 months, you still have your bills paid, this will make you a way more relaxed person. This, of course, will benefit your health and your relationships beyond what you could probably imagine currently. Now, if you stuck with me this far and you are convinced that as an entrepreneur you need to start investing for the long term, then there is something crucial you need to understand. Do not, I repeat, do not approach your investments like you do your business. Entrepreneurs are inherently risk takers. They want excitement. They want to create a startup that disrupts an industry. They want to create a small local business that triples their money in a year, etc., etc. This is not how investments work. You need to plant this deep in your brain. This is one of the reasons entrepreneurs are often bad investors. The last thing you need in your long-term portfolio that is paying for your life is excitement and volatility. There's an old saying that investing should be like watching grass grow. It is very difficult for entrepreneurs to realize and internalize that. So this is why I am stressing it here. Remember it, make it as a rule for yourself, and you can thank me later. Okay, but what are the type of investments I have found out work best for people like us? In my opinion, it is stable cash flowing assets that pay you month after month, so you can use that cash to live and improve your lifestyle. It is the only way to achieve financial freedom and enjoy life, which is why 99% of us started doing business in the first place. So, what are these investments? Well, if I have to do a very high-level overview, we can put them in 3 buckets. Big public businesses, also known as stocks, credit, and real estate. I will go briefly through them one by one. The first one is stocks. Stocks are just a fancy name for businesses that are public and are open for anyone to invest in them. But the foundation is the same. Both the small mom and pop shop and Microsoft are businesses. It's just that Microsoft is a lot bigger, more stable, and profitable than the other. Here you also have the option of investing in baskets of these public businesses in instruments known as ETFs. Investing in cash flowing stocks is, in my opinion, the best for the everyday person because it allows you to start with $100 a month. You can receive instant diversification by spreading your money in multiple companies or funds, and you are investing in businesses far larger and more stable than your own. Eventually, these instruments can give you dividends that cover your lifestyle needs and are way more secure than your own company. If you're interested in that type of investing, I have a free masterclass where I talk a lot more in details about it. The link is in the description. Second option is credit. Credit instruments are basically you lending money to someone else. That could be a corporation or, the most popular way, governments. They are also known as bonds. Bonds are a fancy way of describing exactly that. You lending money to a government or a company. I personally don't invest in bonds and I don't advise people to either, and the reasons for that are way too complex and can't be explained in the current video. But in short, in the current monetary system we use, where the currency is not backed by gold, the governments can create as much money as they want in order to prevent financial crashes and finance themselves. A key feature of bonds is that when you give money to, let's say, the government for 10 years, on the 10th year, you get the same amount of money back. If you remember how much value your money has lost only in the past couple of years, let alone 10 or 20, you can understand why that's a great deal for them, but not for you. Also, you receive interest on that money, but it is fixed. It doesn't go up with inflation, and so the same principle applies. I can literally talk for hours on that topic, and if you want more information on that, I also talk in my investing masterclass about why saving money in the bank and investing in bonds are designed to make you lose money. Third option is real estate. Here I include both buildings and land. It is important to know that this only works if they are used to create cash flow, meaning that you have renters in them. This is an okay method, and I personally have part of my portfolio there. However, it has many drawbacks, which again are beyond the scope of this video and are covered in my free masterclass, where I compare direct real estate investing with dividend-paying stocks and funds and show you the hidden drawbacks a few people talk about. Drawbacks like lack of diversification, more involvement on your part, legal issues, the familiarity bias, and a lot of other hidden dangers. Again, you can find the link and sign up for it in the description of this video. So let me know in the comments, what is your experience as an entrepreneur when it comes to managing your personal finances? And do you think investing can help you become a better business owner? And before you go, make sure you check out this video that should have appeared on your screen right now to continue with your investing education. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you there.